aliens are coming. The fucking aliens are coming. They're going to invade us. That's why I got my tinfoil hat on, so they can't probe my brain or brainwash me or whatever.
Everyone, we have a very important update about Atlas 3I. Okay, scientists are saying that now more than ever, that this week is going to be extremely active. The fact that the last thing that they saw and reported Atlas 3I doing was shooting a jet into our sun. That was the last thing that they reported with the Gemini telescope. Now, Harvard scientists are saying that Atlas 3I can be a black swan event. Those of you who know what a black swan event is know how serious of a deal, how big of a deal that is. With everything going on in our world, for a giant comet or asteroid that scientists are saying is not natural, by the way, is coming around our sun. It's in the dark right now, but it's about to be revealed in a few days, so stay tuned. This is major.
Basically, NASA kickstarted the whole Planetary Defense Network, which is this IAWN, or International Asteroid Warning Network, quietly. Did not announce it. We found out because so many different programs and other smaller networks are part of this one gigantic network for planetary defense. So it leaked. Now everyone's talking about it. 3. High-profile scientific speculation. Dr. Avi Loeb, the Harvard astrophysicist, has garnered widespread media attention for publicly suggesting that 3I Atlas's highly unusual characteristics could be consistent with an artificial or technological origin. Okay? That's part of scientific speculation. Within 9 degrees of the sky position from which the famous WOW signal, which is a powerful, unexplained radio signal coming from deep space that was detected in 1977 by SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. The same area, the same direction. Now, 9 degrees, yes, okay, 9 degrees from us to, or from wherever you're standing to your closest wall, 9 degrees is not a lot. When you're talking about galactic space, 9 degrees is a ton, okay? But if we're talking about something that can course correct, 9 degrees is very, very plausible. So there is a lot of connections coming right now. A lot of people going, shit, what if this was the thing that sent us the WOW signal, or that we picked up the WOW signal from?
Have you been feeling neck tension, headaches, dizziness, or like your identity is shifting? You may be going through what many are calling a 3I Atlas realignment. Let's explain simply. Your atlas is the first vertebrae of your neck. Physically, it holds your head. Energetically, it acts as a gateway between your body and your higher consciousness. The 3I refers to 3 areas being recalibrating right now. Identity, who you are becoming. Integrity, aligning fully with your truth. Intuition, receiving higher guidance more clearly. That's why so many are experiencing tension, dizziness, emotional release, or feel like their old self is no longer fit. This isn't a breakdown. It's an alignment into your next expression.
There was a WOW signal that basically was from a satellite they got from back in 1977, right? So they're saying that it may have been Atlas sending signals, saying that, hey, we're gonna be there one day. Back in 1977, okay? Put a pin in that. Think about that year. There's a song that came out in 1977 by Sammy Hagar called Crack in the World. He says in the song, there's a great divide coming in 2025. This is in the song. Then he says, we only have 50 years left. What's 50 years from 1977? 2027. So is 2025 the kickoff into whatever bullshit they're gonna put us in for the next couple years. Okay? That's one. Two, ChatGPT just came out with something very interesting. They're doing a lot of crazy things right now. They came out with their own browser to compete with Google Chrome. Guess what the Chrome browser, or excuse me, guess what the ChatGPT browser is called?
I'd say Atlas.
It's called Atlas.
I hate
You
this.
can't make this shit up.
I fucking hate it.
They just rolled that out. Okay? It just happened. So how is it all these coincidences line up? Okay? So I'm just saying, they know what that thing is, and they're not telling us whether it actually is aliens or if it's some fake shit. Whatever it is, they're planning something.
3i, we can think of third eye, and then Atlas is the first cervical vertebrae near the medulla oblongata, the mouth of God. In mythology, Atlas holds up the heavens, a cosmic bridge. An atlas is also a map or a guidebook. In travel, an atlas shows the way. Spiritually, 3i Atlas can be seen as the third eye atlas, a guide for your inner vision, a navigator of higher consciousness. Just as a physical atlas leads you through unknown lands, the Interstellar Atlas could symbolize a cosmic spirit guide leading humanity through the new terrain of the Age of Aquarius. This interstellar object appears exactly as humanity stands at a threshold, moving from the Age of Pisces into Aquarius. I was telling you the crystals in a computer regulate frequency and timing. They store and transmit information. Planets and stars can be seen as macrocrystals, each with a distinct vibrational signature. Music of the spheres is an ancient term for planetary harmonics. In the microcosm, your chakras, crystal energy centers. In the macrocosm, the planets, crystal nodes. So your phone's crystal oscillator keeps the system synchronized, and planets and comets, cosmic oscillators, synchronizing cycles of life and consciousness on Earth. At least 7 significant comets are entering our system now. 7 is a sacred number for chakra, seals in Revelation, rays of esoteric Christianity, colors of the spectrum, etc. This can be read as a macrocosmic Kundalini rising, a celestial reflection of humanity's own energetic ascent. When the microcosm and macrocosm mirror each other, you will know a great shift is underway. Age of Pisces was belief, faith, saviors outside of self. Age of Aquarius is inner knowing, collective awakening, humanitarian innovation, spiritual technology. 3i Atlas arrives as water of the heavens, pouring out new codes, just as Aquarius pours water. This is a software update for the collective consciousness, moving from hierarchical systems to distributed crystalline networks. Christ in the Age of Pisces was a teacher and exemplar. Christ in the Age of Aquarius is a frequency we embody collectively. So energy rising through the spine is the Christos. Rapture is not bodies floating upward, but consciousness rising inward. So all the Christians are talking about this rapture event with this 3i Atlas coming in. I think we're all sensing the same thing happening, but they're thinking it literal physical people floating up in the sky, and we're understanding it as consciousness, right? An awakening process. In the twinkling of an eye, right? The third eye opening, second coming of Christ, the Christos returning within you, 7 comets activating 7 seals, that's Kundalini awakening of humanity. The news is promoting fear around this, right? They're trying to feed off your loose energy, so they're instilling fear around this, and they're also trying to probably manifest something different than what they know is the reality of the situation. So they're trying to build all this fear around it and stuff as a threat to us to keep the vibration low. Fear can manifest undesirable timelines and block our awakening. I don't want to say it on here, but the Project BB could stage a invasion or a false messiah using holograms and a possible hijack of the awakening narrative. So we need to hold a higher frequency, see through the illusion, and consciously choose your perception. Don't feed the matrix with fear. Feed the awakening with awareness.
And they've used their collider to open up a portal to communicate with extraterrestrial beings.
Whoa.
And one of them are the occupants from 3i Atlas.
To be clear, CERN already has a room and a technology to open a portal to talk to extraterrestrials.
Yes.
But recently, they also used it to communicate with the beings on 3i Atlas.
That's correct.
Okay, go
Yes.
on.
So those beings introduced themselves as such, like so we are the occupants of this object, and they did not show up physically. They show up as holograms. Now, they apparently showed up as holograms. They looked tall, and they communicated telepathically with every single scientist in the room.
Wow.
And they all got the same message, which is that they are coming in peace, and they're just trying to come over here to gather all the star seeds of this planet.
Oh God, my heart is still racing and I'm still extremely emotional. Oh wow, so all this talk about the 3i Atlas. Oh shit, I'm still emotional. I've been watching people talk about this Comet 3i Atlas, and I'm a psychic, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna portal myself. Okay, I'm back. I decided to, if you will, teleport or just astral project, theta project, if you will. I take myself into a theta brainwave and then I head up and I just commanded that I wanted to go to the spaceship. That's what it is, it's a spaceship. And immediately I felt it's veiled. So you can't see in it unless they let you see it. I'm shaking. They don't let you see in it unless they want you to see in it. And as soon as I felt that, this being popped into my face. And yes, they do look like they're tribal. They're tribal. And he looked at me and he said, home. And immediately I started panicking and crying, and I have never felt so in need of not being here. Holy shit. I went into like a panic, like an emotional panic, and I told him, you've got to stop, like you got to back off. I can't handle this energy because I'm crying. What the hell? Home. Oh my God. All right, I've gotten myself somewhat under composure here. I'm shaking still and obviously still trying to clean up my emotional energy that has just absolutely gone whack. Like whatever high vibration that they're bringing, my body's not ready for. And I wonder if this is what's going to happen tomorrow. Or hit tomorrow, but rather gradually hit the rest of the consciousness. So when I got up there, it is long, and it is like, it's made of rock, like obsidian. That's what they're telling me, obsidian. And there's like hundreds of windows, but you can't see them because it's got this blanket, if you will, but it's like a transparent blanket. It's a veil, is what they say. It's a veil over it. And they're all traveling, and I can't even talk. Searching. I don't know what they're searching for, but they do have a blue skin tone. And I read somewhere on TikTok that someone had seen that they were Native American. They're not Native American. At least that's not what I'm perceiving. They're tribal. They're taking my fucking voice again. What do you point to? Interstellar. Interstellar is the word he's using, and he's pointing north. Why north? You're in space. But anyways, he's pointing north with a sharp edge, like spear, north. And they're bluish skin, but they're tribal. They're not Native American, and I can see why you would think that they are. And holy hell, the technology. And the way they communicate is telepathically. Clearly, I'm psychic, so I'm picking it up, but that's how they talk. Everything is done via mind, power. They're tall. They say we are mistaken as aliens. But they're not. They're like, we're from our own home. Searching. Man, there's so much information. Oh my God, but when he popped in my face, I say he, but when the being popped in my face and he said home, I have never, besides really trying to explain hyperventilating, I have never felt that before. It was like, don't leave me, type feeling, don't leave me. Here. I don't know what he's saying. He's saying here. Oh, lots of information. If I have more, I'm going to say, because this is freaking fascinating and I'm blown away by my physical response. Wow.
Tomorrow morning, at precisely 11:36 Universal Time, something will happen that we were told would be invisible. An interstellar visitor, racing through our solar system at speeds that would make your head spin, will swing around our sun at its closest approach. For months, every astronomical source you could find repeated the same story. It will be hidden, behind the sun, unobservable. The most critical moment of this object's journey through our neighborhood, the exact window when any spacecraft would perform its most fuel-efficient maneuver, conveniently obscured from every telescope on Earth. But 4 days ago, on October 25th, an amateur astronomer pointed their equipment at the sky and captured something that changes everything. The object they were told would be invisible, sitting right there, visible, observable, next to the sun in broad daylight. Either every major astronomical institution got their calculations catastrophically wrong, or someone wanted us looking the other way. Tomorrow, we find out which.
So if it's possible, or likely, that 3i Atlas is actually some sort of like human ability, gift, unlocker, bridge between dimensions, 3D, 5D, all that jazz, and we all of a sudden have the ability to have telepathy, get your thoughts under control, is all I'm saying. Because you don't necessarily want everybody to be able to hear what you're thinking, but you can hear it now. So if your thoughts are wiling out on you, you need to start correcting that behavior or being able to identify it in the first place. Oh, would I want someone to hear that? Because we are moving into the way that we will know that people are authentic or not is we will be able to sense that either telepathically, empathically, it's happening. You have to know yourself and you have to have control of yourself and be able to regulate yourself. Start now.
The lie they told us. Let's start with what we were supposed to believe. Since July, when 3i Atlas was first detected racing toward our inner solar system, the official timeline has been remarkably consistent. The narrative went something like this. On October 29th, 2025, at 11:36 Universal Coordinated Time, this interstellar visitor would reach perihelion, its closest approach to the Sun, at a distance of 1.356 astronomical units. That's roughly 203 million kilometers if you're counting, and on that exact date, the object would be positioned directly behind the Sun from Earth's perspective. Solar conjunction, they called it. Completely hidden, unobservable, no witnesses. This story appeared everywhere. Astronomy blogs picked it up. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory tracking data summaries mentioned it. Amateur observation guides warned skywatchers not to bother looking. Even peer-reviewed papers discussing the object's trajectory included casual references to this convenient blackout period. The implication was crystal clear. Whatever happens during perihelion, whatever changes might occur in the object's trajectory or brightness or behavior, would happen in darkness. We'd have to wait until early November, when 3i Atlas emerged from behind the Sun, to see what had changed. Trust us, they seem to say. We'll tell you what we found. But here's the thing about trust. It requires honesty. And on October 25th, at 13:25 local time, someone decided to check for themselves. The blog post appeared under the name Earth Exists, an amateur astronomy group that had been tracking 3i Atlas since its discovery. What they published wasn't a theory or speculation, it was evidence, actual telescope images time-stamped, coordinates verified, showing 3I Atlas clearly visible in the constellation Virgo. And here's the part that should make every hair on your neck stand up. The sun was in the same frame, massive, bright, sitting on the left side of the image.
So 3I Atlas is floating around Mars, which I just want to, I believe there's a song called Planet Caravan by Black Sabbath that came out in 1985, where it talks about a spaceship floating around Mars. But okay, besides that, we don't need to go there. But my biggest thing is it's on its way, or we've known it's on the way, and then there's a government shutdown in the US, and where's, like, it's a weird time to just shut down, don't you think? I mean, with this comet on the way. I mean, it's weird, right? It's weird, right? It's weird.
3I Atlas was strange in my mind the minute I heard about it, because it was discovered at a distance of 4.5 times the Earth-Sun separation, and yet it was discovered with a telescope that is only half a meter in diameter. And the reason is because it was relatively bright. If it was a solid object, then it should have been 20 kilometers in diameter, bigger than Manhattan Island, bigger, twice as large as the rock that killed the dinosaurs, right, 66 million years ago. So it's a giant object. Now, there is a problem with a giant object. There is just not enough material in interstellar space to make such a giant rock and send it our way every few years. I mean, this one was discovered after a few years of surveying the sky. And I suggested that the simplest solution would be if it's less than a kilometer in size, and then it's surrounded by a cloud of dust, in which case it would be a comet. The problem is we haven't detected yet the signatures of molecules of gas around it. All we saw is this object is red. The color is red. The reflected sunlight from it is red, but that could be coming from its surface. A lot of objects in the outskirts of the solar system are red. So it might well be that when it comes closer to the sun, it's making its way now towards the sun. Right. Then it will evaporate much more clearly, and then we would see a plume of gas and dust, and it would appear to be clearly a comet, in which case we shouldn't worry too much. But then I also noticed with two colleagues, we wrote a paper saying that its trajectory is very unusual, because the trajectory is in the plane of the orbit of the Earth around the sun, and within 5 degrees. And the chance of that happening at random is 0.2%. Wow. So it's aligned with the orbital plane of the inner planets. It will come very close to Jupiter, Mars, and Venus. The chance of that happening, even taking the orbit and just changing the arrival time, the chance of it being so close to these planets is 1 in 20,000. It's really small. And also when it arrives closest to the sun, and by the way, mark your calendar, that would be October 29th, 2025. When it gets closest to the sun, the Earth would be on the opposite side of the sun. We wouldn't be able to observe it.
We won't see it, yeah.
We won't see it. So the question is, was that by design? Because that is the point in the trajectory when it can actually break.
They claim the James Webb Space Telescope spotted a large object about 10 light years away moving toward Earth. The Post's claim that the telescope captured the object changing its trajectory.
The James Webb Space Telescope just pulled off something absolutely incredible, capturing the first real image of 3I Atlas, an ancient interstellar comet that's been traveling through space for potentially billions of years. This isn't just any space rock. It's a chemical time capsule from another star system, carrying secrets we've never seen before. The comet's composition is so extreme, it's breaking everything we thought we knew. But what if this visitor is older than our entire solar system? What cosmic messengers are heading our way? Webb's historic capture, the first real image of interstellar comet 3I Atlas, the moment astronomers at the James Webb Space Telescope received the data on August 6, 2025. They knew they were looking at something extraordinary. Every pixel in that infrared image whispered stories of distant worlds, of a cosmic traveler that had journeyed across the vast emptiness between stars to visit our solar neighborhood. This wasn't just another space photograph. It was the first real image of 3I Atlas, an interstellar comet that had crossed unimaginable distances to deliver secrets from another stellar system directly to our doorstep. The discovery of 3I Atlas began in early July 2025, when the Atlas survey system detected something unusual moving against the backdrop of distant star. This object immediately caught attention because it represented only the third confirmed interstellar object ever detected in our cosmic neighborhood. The first two visitors, Oumuamua and Borisov, had already challenged our understanding of what might wander into our solar system, but both carried mysteries that left scientists with more questions than answers. Oumuamua defied simple classification with its strange acceleration and elongated shape, while 2I Borisov, though clearly comet-like, still left many questions about chemistry and origin unanswered. Now 3I Atlas was approaching on a trajectory that would bring it within reach of our most powerful telescopes, and the race was on to capture it before it disappeared forever into the cosmic void. This visitor was moving at incredible speeds, traveling roughly 210,000 kilometers per hour through space on a hyperbolic path that would take it past our sun only once. Unlike comets born in our solar system that follow predictable elliptical orbits.
2 weeks ago, I realized the arrival direction of 3I Atlas was within 9 degrees of the WOW signal that was detected in 1977, which was an enigmatic, powerful radio signal that definitely came from outside of this Earth. We don't know from where. It was coming from a source that was approaching the sun, and the chance of it aligning with the arrival direction of 3I Atlas is 0.6%. And I just said, well, that's interesting, because 3I Atlas was at a distance of 3 light days from the Earth at that time, you know, and you just need about the output of a nuclear reactor on Earth, a gigawatt or so, to produce such a radio signal.
Here's the crazy part. The story of 3I Atlas didn't begin when telescopes spotted it. It began 48 years earlier, when a narrow-band whisper near the hydrogen line lit up an old radio dish and then disappeared. Everyone moved on. The data sat in archives, dusty and misfiled. Now, with better tools and smarter pattern hunting, engineers lined it up with 3I Atlas's path and finally cracked a structure that was hiding in plain sight. If this holds, the signal wasn't random. It was a clock, and the clock was set for now, the old burst that wouldn't fit the box. Most people have heard of that famous 1977 radio blip, the one that hit right near 1420 megahertz and then never repeated. It was short, strong, and maddeningly tidy. Back then, the rule was simple. No repeat, no case. Teams checked for interference, satellites, meteor scatter, you name it. With nothing obvious to blame, the event was filed under Interesting, Unsolved, and radio astronomy carried on. Decades later, something new messed with the neat filing cabinet. An interstellar object, 3I Atlas, blew past early models and behaved like the universe's headstrong middle child. Its light curves pulsed in regular spans. Its non-gravitational nudges showed up in the exact windows you'd expect if a low-thrust system was spooling up and idling. At first, the connection to the old radio burst sounded like a stretch, until someone overlaid the timing of Atlas's activation phases on top of the archival radio envelope. The cadence wasn't identical, but the ratios lined up suspiciously well. That's what cracked the door. If the 1977 event was not a one-off call, but the start of a long countdown, the no-repeat rule stopped being helpful and started being a blind spot. The original burst didn't need to repeat. It only needed to index a schedule that wouldn't mature for decades, when the transmitter and receiver, Atlas and us, would swing into a geometry that finally made the rest of the pattern visible. This is the part that hooks people. The signal may not have been a message in the human sense. It looked more like a timestamp, a seed for a later decode. How a non-message becomes a decoder ring. So what does decoding really mean in this context? Not a secret sentence hidden inside static. Think simpler, and smarter. The 1977 burst can be treated as a primer, a short reference with known physics that lets you reconstruct a key. Hydrogen line proximity gives a universal yardstick. The measured blue shift provides a relative velocity. The dynamic range of the amplitude sets a scaling window. Combine those three, and you get a template you can slide across future datasets. That's what the new analysis did. Engineers pulled long baseline logs from radio, infrared, and optical archives, all the way up to the present. They then stretched or compressed each dataset according to that primer template. Suddenly, previously random brightening and quieting around 3I Atlas snapped into phase. The important part wasn't the raw values, it was the spacing. Bursts, fades, nickel line upticks, and even albedo dips lined up in consistent intervals once you applied the primer. Imagine a player piano roll with hole you can't see until you shine light at a certain angle. The 1977 burst supplied that angle. When you looked with the right timing, structure appeared. Groups of intervals that repeated in modular packets, 5, 8, 13 ticks, separated by longer resets. Those counts echo familiar growth ratio, but the key takeaway is not poetry, it's engineering. Modular packets are how you build robust timing in noisy environments. You don't try to shout an essay across a stadium, you clap a beat everyone can pick up later, especially if they saved the first clap. Decoded this way, the old burst becomes a phase aligner. It tells your analysis where to plant the ruler. Once planted, Atlas's behavior looks less like a chaotic comet and more like a system running through cycles. Charge, test, correct, quiet. Not proof of intelligence, but definitely proof of discipline. The geometry trick that hid the pattern for decades.
Let's anchor ease. Take a breath. Visualize golden light resting at the base of your skull, gently aligning your identity, integrity, and intuition with your higher self. May your nervous system relax and your true self rise with grace.